First of all, Grace, welcome. Been a pleasure watching you play the last couple of years.
Thank you.
You've had, I guess, the change in position fascinates me because you were outside, right? And now you're playing middle?
Yeah, I actually was a right side last year.
A right side, okay.
Yeah.
Changes, can you take us through that? What's been the difference physically, mentally?
Oh, let's see. Well, actually, going back to the outside thing, I played in high school as an outside, and then club team, which, you know, Coach Bradley was my club coach
I did not
for
know
2
that.
years. Yeah. So, and actually Coach Raines, when I was 16, was my club coach as well, but back then I was playing middle for a girl who got sick. So then I went to outside, and then in club, Coach Bradley, when he knew that he wanted to start recruiting me, changed me to a right side because that's what Jewell needed and stuff like that. So played right side last year, and like a lot of the other freshmen, you know, didn't see the court as much as we would like to, and as much as I did this year, but changing positions to middle happened, I think, because that was what the team needed. We were losing our 2 seniors, Christina Pratt and Libby Ording, so having a middle hitter was something we definitely needed.
Middle's kind of a glamorous position.
Yeah.
What do you think about the change? Because those right sides have to work and work very hard.
Exactly. Yeah, they do, definitely. And I think the biggest change I see from right side to middle, like you talk about the glamorous stuff, I think it's just a lot easier, especially for me, like my body type and stuff, for hitting and things like that. The quicker sets help me to be able to score more points, I guess.
Sure,
So the right side, you kind of have to work for it more with your double block up, but with middle, you can beat people with speed and get up there. And so a lot of times I don't have anyone in front of me, and that's just easier to score points. So
do you have to change your arm swing at all? Because it seems like you've got a very quick swing.
Yes, we had to change that. So on the pins, you definitely want to have a longer arm swing where you reach back, you know, you have longer time to get through and swing through the air. So a middle is more of like a quick snapping motion. You don't get to reach back for the ball. It's more of coming from your elbow and hitting like more straight down, I guess. So
mentally tough challenge to do. Do you find yourself maybe just kind of sometimes instinctively doing things differently?
I definitely think instinctively I do things differently, but I also think that's something that helps me on the court because other middles are like, what is she doing? That's not correct. And I think it's just because I am different that gives me an upper hand in most situations. But the biggest thing that I see is, like you talked about the arm swing, is that was the biggest change for me. But other than that, I think it's not intimidating because I have played middle before when I was younger. And I also know that I have a really good support system of my team and coaches behind me. So if I ever have a question, I just ask and it's answered right away. So
how about the blocking? Instead of setting the block on the outside, now you're the one that's to close it up. What is that different?
It definitely is different, but I actually enjoy it because I love blocking, and I definitely think that it's one of my strengths. I think it's the reason why I get to play middle so much. And so for middle, now I get to do double the blocking before. So, I don't know, it's fun to fly into the ball and get to do my weird one-hand stuff, you know, put it in front of a girl. So, I don't know, it's been a good experience, yeah.
The other night you hit like a little hook shot or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's talk about the reasons you came to Jewell. You talked about Coach Bradley and Coach Raines knowing you before. That must have been some kind of a factor.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't know Coach Raines was going to be a coach here because when I was getting recruited, Krista Parks was the coach. But Coach Bradley was definitely the biggest influence in me coming here, him being my club coach and having such a great relationship with my family through those years. And I remember when we went on the visit, we had previously been at the school for some kind of like tournament when I was 15 or something, and my parents were like, do you remember all the bricks and all the hills? And I was like, no, I don't remember any of it. But now that I got here and I just saw how beautiful it was, it just seemed like a good place for academics, which is super important, you know, more important than sports for me. And the other thing that I really liked was the location, how close it is to Kansas City, yet you can look out the back window and there's like countryside everywhere. It's just, it reminded me a lot of Lawrence, just having that good kind of suburb feel. So that was another big reason why I came here. But
plus the bricks and hills.
Exactly, yeah, all the hills you get to walk up every day.
You talked about your dad, who I think probably a lot of people know is our color commentator on our games. Is that a little strange for you?
No, it's not all. I mean, he's been doing that my whole life. You know, that's how him and my mom met, was at radio, and, you know, that's what his job was when I was little and growing up. So I'm used to hearing him on the radio and having him go to all my sports stuff and hearing his comments. So it's not any different now,
Tell us about your family other than your dad.
Let's see. I have my mom and stepdad, and then I have 2 stepsisters, Michaeline and Marissa, and Marissa comes to all of my games. She does volleyball as well. She's a sophomore in high school. she's a setter at Free State where I went to high school.
Okay.
So that's pretty fun for her, doing club and all that stuff. I think she wants to play in college as well. So I'm excited to get to help her to do that. And then I also have my stepmom, Ann, who's married to my dad. And I mean, we just have a great relationship. I'm really blessed with all of my family because they're always there to support me. So
what are you going to do when you graduate?
I definitely want to go into therapy. So I'm thinking right out of school, I'm going to try and get my master's in counseling, which I know there's a pretty good program at UMKC that I was thinking about going to just to stay in the area because I like Kansas City a lot. So then after that, hopefully, I mean, working at a firm, having my own firm, something like that. So we'll see.
Well, whether you are playing the middle or the right side,
Yeah.
or maybe the left side someday, thanks for all you've done for our program. It's been a lot of fun to watch you play.
Thank you so much.
And we're back with more on the HyVee Halftime Report after this.